Hello everyone, welcome to round number 2. We have Exile Order against Dishonored Gods. Exile Gaming in the blue, Dishonored Gods in the red. Sylvanas and Nox being banned out. Soza, I mean...
Nothing we're not used to seeing, but here's my wonder. Are we going to see a Circuit maybe bait it out again so they can secure what they want?
No, I would...
I mean, it's a really, really big risk to take.
I
And
don't...
you can only really do it if you know somebody on the enemy team isn't that good at playing Circuit, which we're getting to the point where I'm pretty sure everybody here knows how to play Circuit quite well.
Yeah, we're going to see a Kali ban and a Circuit ban. A little intrigued by the Kali ban, because while she's incredibly good, she hasn't been changed in a very reasonable amount of time. She was tweaked recently, but even then, it took her about a month or two to get back on
I can
top
understand.
of the world.
I figured that Exile Gaming is just not when it, like, picks and bans, especially when you get a lot of the strong gods out, which are pretty, like, you feel as strong gods, can really be used to just get rid of gods you don't feel comfortable playing against, especially if you know somebody on the enemy team plays that god quite well.
Yeah, and of course, banning Kali and not Serket does force Dishonored to ban Serket, meaning that they can get Giannis, as Giannis is arguably one of the best gods as well, especially one of the better mid laners. We're going to see Apollo and Geb locked in practically immediately by Dishonored Gods because, well, let's be honest, they're an insanely good combo. Both of them are very good individually, and combined, they're even better. Exile Gaming, then, though, knows what they want to play today, and they're not going to take time and make it look like they don't. They wanted Thor, and they wanted Rom. Very global to semi-global team comp, and I like it a lot. Nuwa being locked in for Dishonored Gods, well, I mean, you really don't get much more global than press 4, go up into air, drop fire shards onto everyone's face, come back down.
And provide vision and damage right there, and that's pretty incredible. Athena is banned out by Dishonored Gods right there. Gonna be interesting to put Exile goes and bans out here. Gonna assume they're gonna look for a solo laner, most likely. Maybe a jungler.
I would expect a jungler ban here because they already picked up a Thor. Unless it's a support Thor, in which case maybe they won't ban a jungler. But support Thor requires very specific gameplay. And it's, again, certainly possible, but we're not totally, don't know how Exile likes to run their team comps. So, gonna see an Arachne ban, so it isn't a jungle ban, meaning most likely Thor. Arachne seeing a lot of play recently, and I like her being banned out in the second round, but she's one of those guys where it's I don't feel like dealing with you pick ban, not a must ban, as we do see Shadow Shred picking up Dishonored Gods. 1 bots for jungle, so very solid pick. Needs to get ahead though, because if he starts to fall behind at all, his ultimate doesn't do as much as it needs to in the late game.
Because he has the tools he needs to get ahead, and with this team composition, I think he can get ahead and even provide a little bit of support even if he falls behind. Like, definitely enough to stay relevant, especially considering the team comp. We're going to see a Chalk covered and Ares locked in immediately. Going to support Ares most likely, unless we see the oddball mid lane Ares, but I'm not sure how likely that is today. Especially considering this composition.
I actually, I like the Chalk pick here. Baka being picked up here. Now here is where Baka, sort of the mind games start, or Bakasura got picked up there to sort of counter the Chalk. However, Ares semi-counters Bakasura because Baka can't leap away when he's been chained, which means that you can force him to stick around a little bit longer than he wants to. Not the best combo, maybe, hoping for somebody more like a tier where you really hard counter them, but it's a possibility, and that's the nice thing about flex picks, is if your support and your solo laner can both play Chalk and Ares, then you just say, pick these, and whatever they pick as their last one will determine where we put them. So, probably just going to be a support Ares, but I wouldn't put it out of my mind to see the other option. So anyways, Exile Gaming against Dishonored Gods. My name is mTarget. My co-caster is Soza. We'll be back in about 3 minutes when the Spectator is done loading. Thank you, everybody. This is First Blood, brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios. Stay tuned for the action. And here we are with the action, ladies and gentlemen. Not everybody has quite loaded in just yet, but that's all right. So we once again, round 2, Exile Gaming against Dishonored Gods. For Exile Gaming, we have Turquoise on Rom, Jake has on Giannis, Crest Gums on Chalk, Act Zinthor, I was going to call him Zinthor, I think, on Ares, and Traplord Kalyana on Thor.
Meanwhile, listen, we've got the Dishonored Gods. We're going to have Banana 22122 on Hoonbots. The only share on Nuwa. Creature on Bakasura, the Red Duncan on Geb, and replacing CERN not appearing in this film, we have Shadow Shred on Apollo.
And at this point, I mean, obviously we're still just kind of waiting. We got pulled in a little bit faster than expected. Waiting to see sort of what items are going to be picked up here. We talked about before we got pulled in that this could maybe sort of be an Ares solo lane, but it isn't. It's going to be the Ares support.
Item, he's going to be the support, yeah. But it would have been interesting to see an Ares solo lane here, like you said earlier, but not today.
Well,
or
and
not this game.
Again, Baka isn't the best matchup for Ares, and Chalk should do fine against him, so there's no real reason otherwise. Interesting start coming out here from the Red Duncan. The Red Duncan selecting that Mark of the Vanguard, which I do actually kind of like in this matchup due to the fact that Ares is 90%
It lets him be incredibly aggro versus an Ares.
Yes.
Like, it lets him be... However, he can be incredibly aggro, he can play incredibly safe and just survive Ares damage. Either way, he can block quite a bit. It looks like Zinthor might walk into the pain turner here. Gonna be in a little bit of trouble, but I don't think they're gonna find any CC on him at all. So I'm just gonna back away, but actually he will get his ward down, but maybe not where he wanted to put it.
Well, he got his first ward down definitely where he wanted it, but you could tell that with that second ward that he just wanted to get out of dodge, so he didn't want to risk anything there. So, relatively safe, start coming out from him. No wards actually coming out from Geb at all, so the Red Duncan simply starting off with Mark of the Vanguard, Hog 1, and then 6 pots overall. So a little bit risky there, but I don't know if Exile Gaming noticed that. And Ares ROM has a little bit of a hard time clearing, or stealing buffs, I should say. So, we'll see what comes out here.
I'm honestly expecting a fairly safe start from both sides in this matchup, unless we see some cheekiness coming out of the solo lane, which is always a possibility, especially with Thor on the table.
Definitely. So, we are going to see buff camps getting cleared out very normally. I was wondering if maybe we were going to see a level 3 start coming out from that Geb, where he rolls out from mid camps to back camps, hogs those, and then goes over to blue buff, but not the case. He just simply rolled out straight to blue buff, and that is going to be the end of that. I'm a little bit intrigued by this mid lane matchup. Giannis and Nuwa both have a lot of kill potential, a lot of rotation potential in their own unique way, but early lane Giannis CC tends to counter Nuwa CC, so I think Jake Haas should be all right early.
It's going to be more of a skill matchup here, I feel. Especially in these first few levels. I mean, 1 through 5 doesn't be a skill matchup, but after that, it's going to be who's better. Looks like Jake Haas is having a little bit of trouble with his poke right now, but going to be able to clear out this wave just fine, hopefully. And across the board, going to be a fairly boring start. The feels Chalk is going to go and try to put a bit of pressure down, but then Trap Lord's not going to find the spin to win that you need.
Over in the duo lane, though, Shadow Shred taking a lot of damage from Turquoise and Zinthor. Red Duncan taking a reasonable amount as well. Shadow Shred actually also did pull aggro from the minions, which means that he is having a very, not difficult time, but not a wonderful time, as he was forced to pop his health potion before the minute 30-second mark, which is a very, very early time for a Hunter to do that. Also, we are going to see rotations coming out from the junglers now. Not in an early rotation, but also... we did only see them stick around for about 2 waves instead of the 3 or 4 that sometimes junglers do like to do if they feel like the solo lane needs babysitting. But we're going to also see both junglers just go straight to red camps. No invasion funny business. So,
both teams are playing incredibly safe this game.
Yeah, and safe is good when your opponent is playing aggressive, but when you're both playing safe, you just hit that point where you're not going to actually end up taking the advantage.
I mean, it's fine because both teams will scale well across the board, actually. So I feel this will be one of the games where you see most of the actual fights happening towards the late game.
I definitely agree. This is going to be a team fight oriented game where it's going to be, okay, let's group up, let's do the Gold Fury after getting a pick sort of game, which is a great, solid, consistent game, but it's also something that we haven't seen recently as teams are trying out sort of lots of new ways to try and just pull advantages wherever they can. Solo lane, we're actually going to see ultimate first of the game coming out from Creature. Applying a lot of damage on a Crest Gums, but not enough. Crest Gums going incredibly low. Will actually go down here. The question is to whom, and it is the only share getting first blood with that Nuwa ultimate. Creature definitely probably going to say that's worth, as he did get a great assist there, and he's still alive, so...
Yeah, but now Trap Lord is lurking in the shadows, going to try to find the dunk on Only Share. Only Share going to dunk just out of range of there, but the wall will come crashing out. Only Share has no real escape, but Jake is a little too far away, and that's an ultimate burn for Thor right there, as Geb is going to start rotating for mid-camp. Going to trade 1 for 1, I hear, unless maybe Banana can find the shot he needs, but Banana's still sitting at level 4, needs to hit that ultimate level 5, so he can get a little bit of pressure applied. Wouldn't be surprised if the aerials are coming down and actually gonna find what he needs, but he's gonna pull them both into nothing right there. Gonna drop the chains, not gonna find much damage. They're too afraid to turn on him, it seems. But now it's like Benetta's trying to find it, does have his ultimate available, only should taking a ton of damage right there. But unfortunately, Giannis not around to find the damage return he needs to get the kill there.
Oh!
He's gonna, nice snipe there going down. And that's gonna be a kill for JCOS right there.
That was a amazing snipe, and actually the model on my screen looked like he was looking to ult over to the solo lane. He's thinking, okay, rotation.
That's what it
and
like
then
ult, but then just all of a sudden, just boom!
Yeah, just 90-degree no scope. Beautiful shot there. Very well timed ultimate there, and good job of knowing where only share would be. Now we're gonna see what looks like probably a gank opportunity coming out here from Banana and Red Duncan. They both have their ultimates, and they are behind their opponents. They do know that Ares' ultimate is down, and the tumble is down from Turquoise as well. Here comes the Hunbots leap in, and there's the ultimate as well. Ton of damage being applied on both of them. Beautiful Cataclysm to keep them around, but unfortunately Shadow Shred was not following up. And so that was
like
two
a little bit
ultimates
of
for nothing.
miscommunication right there, but that seems like it's been the story of the game so far. They're just kind of miscommunicating a little bit across the board because these abilities to get burned will not be in position where they need to be. As we thought that earlier in the mid lane for Exile, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's difficult. But actually, speaking of difficult, we're going to see JCOS in a little bit of trouble here as we do see two members of Dishonored Gods applying a fair amount of pressure to him. However, Traplord is going to be on his way over as well. But it looks like everybody is just going to be disengaging at this point.
Yeah, but a blue buff skill is coming out for Exile right there. Gonna try to find it. Red Duncan trying to find Hog goes down, but I think they're gonna walk away with this one. Yes, they will. Actually, Zenthor is wearing blue.
Yep, and that's a really solid thing there because Ares can be so mana hungry that you might as well grab a second buff, give it to him, and you're playing on 3 mana buffs now instead of just 2. Over in the solo lane, we did just see Creature pop his ultimate once again onto Crest Gums. However, Crest Gums didn't even get much. I mean, he got close to a quarter health there during that engagement. That was it. Creature burned all of his mana, burned his ultimate, and had to go back here. He should be able to get back in time, especially if he decides to buy a teleport, which could work in his favor if he feels like he needs to be able to rotate a little bit more. But he's just going to walk back to lane. He might miss a minion or two, but it's kind of unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, with how much pressure they have on the team already, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a teleport come out here.
Yeah, teleport.
As we're just letting them be completely global almost, or a very rotation-focused team. And I like that, actually.
Yeah, the other thing is that it would force... teleport was already purchased on Chalk as well, which would be forcing the teleport onto Bakasur. One of those times where if your opponent gets it, you might want to consider it in the solo lane. Speaking of solo lane, though, we're going to see Crestgums being forced back under tower as we do see the jungler rotating over into that lane. Creature does not have his ultimate, but Banana has his. But really, mid-camps are up, which means that Exile Gaming is going to say...
And now Shadow Shred's actually in danger as well, getting caught out quite a bit by the Ares. Ultimate does come out, but does he have the beat? Going to go into his chariot, actually. That's going to slow him down right for Rom to get the shots, and well, you don't want to stand still with a sniper on the map.
You really do not want to be standing still when Rom is up into the air. And it looks like both sets of
Especially
mid-camps
with how low he was, and yeah, that's going to be both mid-camps secured by Exile right there.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're being chained by an Ares, keep running around, especially if Rom's going up into the air, right until the Ares goes to pull you, then go into your CC immunity of your ultimate if you're Apollo or whatever, because that way you only have that split second of where Rom should be expecting you. Oh,
so
ultimate coming out
low.
from Banana, going to actually fork Axanthor away, and then we're going to see Thor dunking down onto him as well. Now Banana's in a lot of trouble. Nuwa ultimate's going to stun both of them, though, and that should be alright. Nuwa's going to go up into the air now. Not going to get a kill, more just a bit of an escape as she's going to come back down. Red Duncan, though, taking a lot of damage there from the double tap from Kalyana, and this should be... no, not a disengage, as JCOS is going to actually kill the only share all the way over here, surprisingly enough. Not in the mid lane, kind of where you would expect to see them go down. Creature does get another kill over in the solo lane, though. Crest Gums does go down, and I think that everybody's just going to go away and start doing their buff camps, and this is not going to be a Gold Fury attempt, as Red Duncan is alive and has Hog 3 online.
Yeah, neither team really confident enough to take anything big off the back of that, but Exile trying to build up an advantage, but building it very slowly so far.
Indeed they are. At just under 8 minutes, and we're seeing an experience difference of 800 or so, and a gold difference of 600, so neither really significant, but it's what you start with. You start with a small, and this obviously is going to be going into a late game, and it's just a question of which team is going to hit late game first, or hit their stride first, whether it be their mid-game power spike or their late-game power spike, whichever one of these specific
I don't think
players
this one will be decided by the solo laners and how well they rotate, because Chalk, although he's behind, is in a good position to start rotating, although he did just blow his teleport right there, but both cylinders are going to hit their spike around the same time, and Bakasura is getting ahead. So if he's able to start moving about sooner, then he can make something happen. But definitely. I feel it's going to be really where the deciding factor will be this game.
I definitely can agree with that.
Who makes the first move and who is ahead?
Oh, speaking of Gold Fury attempts that I didn't think were going to be happening, Dishonored Gods is trying to sneak one right now. However, Zinthor is just going to walk right in, and Yana's ultimate is going to clip the Gold Fury, but that's going to be the end of that. Actually, Thor going up into the air as well.
Going to find Banana right there. Banana needs to find a way out. He does have his leap available, but not nearly fast enough. There's a shotgun to the face, and now Zinthor is going to Duncan. Duncan will drop the Cataclysm onto two people right there. Now they're going to try to find the shot. Turquoise will slow him out. Chains do come out, so he's crippled with nowhere to run. Flames are going right into his face. Hammer does hit him with the backswing, and Ares' ultimate just to secure the kill, and down he goes.
Yeah, Ares' ultimate definitely, I would say, worth there, because now they can go for this Gold Fury relatively uncontested. Sure, only Share or Shadow Tread could try and contest it as far as damage is concerned, but they don't have all
rocking a Hog 3. Yeah. There's not really much you can do here. Turquoise is just going to tank this one out and get rid of the minions as well, so he does have quite enough life still to stay alive here, and that's going to be able to secure this one away quite easily.
Indeed they are, and the fact that Only Share is trying to contest this is actually only going to be hurting him, as he's not set up to try and take this mid camp. And we just saw Chalk actually taking the right side of mid camps as well. Beautiful job there with Crest Gums of saying, alright, I'm going to rotate over, provide support to the mid lane while you guys are doing something over there with the Gold Fury. Speaking of mid lane, Only Share going to get hit by that Tectonic Rift, and now Chains are coming out from Zinthor as well just to apply some more damage. Nuwa ultimate coming out just to get away. Gonna drop damage, but it's not going to be enough. First tower of the game might be going here right now to Creature, unless Crest Gums can do something significant, but nope. Drastic measures were not there. Creature will be walking away with the first tower of the game at 10 minutes flat.
Now we see one of the weaknesses of Nuwa starting to show a bit as she starts to fall a little behind her counterpart. Nuwa, Nuwa is a very level-focused god for a lot of her early power, and if she can't get those levels, that's just going to start to fall even further and further behind as her tower is taking quite a bit of a beating in the mid lane. Geb's going to try to rotate over to give some support as J-Cos is in a bit of trouble now. He's going to get a leap in from Bananas right there. Bananas dropping the Super Monkey Ball onto him, but has no mana to do anything else, and he should be safe and sound for now.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, gonna see a blink coming in from Ares. Zinthor going in.
We also have Thor in the sky looking to find it. Zinthor maybe look for the Only Share that he's gonna come crashing on Duncan. Duncan gets the ultimate to save his life from Umbunted. Try to look for as much damage as possible. Ares is going to the sky. Cataclysm does come out, but it's not gonna lock down anybody nearly long enough. Traveler will get the kill onto Duncan. Now they're going for Banana. Banana takes a lot of damage from the backswing. Shotgun does come out, but not gonna find the damage it needs. Here's Only Share trying to get the stun out, but not gonna find what it needs. Root does come down, but a little too late.
Indeed, so we're now 6-2. That was a major team fight. Once again, and this is where that snowball will begin to take effect, as we're now sitting at 3,000 experience, 2,600 gold, both in favor of Exile Gaming. They have taken that small lead that we were just talking about and made it huge right there with a very solid play where they set it up. They kind of baited out Dishonored Gods to try and set up their own team fight there. Made Dishonored Gods think that was the fight they wanted, when in fact it was the fight that Exile wanted, and that's the end of that fight. Something to note that I'm not a huge fan of here is the Shoes of Focus on Nuwa. Not that I don't dislike the concept of trying to get your abilities out more often, but that's only something that she can afford to do if she is on par or ahead. As soon as she starts to fall behind, she needs that penetration so her abilities can actually start to do more damage, as Fire Shards and her other abilities really need that penetration to get their full amount of damage off. Unless
I think it has more to do with the fact that Exile is trying to value the crowd control from Nuwa right now more than anything else, which I can see what they're going for here, but like you said earlier, I don't think it's exactly what Nuwa needs to be doing right now. She does need that penetration to actually get her damage out, and she's just kind of going to be a painfully wet noodle slapping people.
It's very possible, depending on how she goes. We do have full cooldown now on Nuwa with Chronos Pendant and Shoes of Focus, but that means that there's not really any power. If we take a moment to look at the, let's see, parts, Nuwa, magical power, only 186 magical power from the items. That is not a wonderful number, especially when you compare it to Giannis. Just as we speak here, they are, of course, clearing out their mid camps. No major contestation. Over in the duo lane, we are going to see Rom getting ulted onto by Hunbots. Rom is up in the air, just trying to harass them a little bit. He should have his tumble when he comes back down. No, he does not. He is dead. That is a kill for Banana, and that is exactly what the monkey needed. However,
but here comes the rotation from everybody. Now there's going to be a great wall trapping Red Duncan in. Going to get stunned out immediately. Right Cataclysm coming down. 4 people caught out right there. Thor going into the sky a little late. The ultimate from Zinthor is coming out. Nuwa goes in the sky as well. Kind of come crashing out. The 2 people right there. Duncan taking a lot of pain, but here comes Creature trying to deal some damage. Double kill for Duncan right now. Great shard coming down. Shining Metal doing plenty of work. Now Zinthor's got to run for his life. But Bakasura doesn't want to let that happen. Both skill shots will miss right there. And he's going to try to chase him in his own tower. And that is going to be an even trade right there, but no real objective to be taken off the back of this, so nobody really wins out here.
Yeah, 3 for 3, and luckily for Exile, their blue buff was not quite up yet, meaning that there wasn't anything that really Dishonored Gods could steal off of that moment. Big fight, pulled things a little bit back in favor of Dishonored Gods as far as not letting it snowball out of control, but unless they can take this tower here, it won't be I wouldn't feel comfortable calling it a win for them just yet.
Yeah. But it has proven they do have the ability to teamfight there, as Red Duncan found an incredible cataclysm there. Actually might be able to take this tower, now Nuwa has dropped her minions right there, and get up on the need now. Akazanthor is in a bit of danger, but they're just going to leap away and not really go for this right now, as they do know that lurking around somewhere is Chuck.
Yep, so at this point I would definitely call it overall fight a win, as Dishonored Gods, they traded evenly in kills, and then they got an objective off of it. And so now at this point, Dishonored Gods, even though they are behind in all of these sort of metrics, you know, they're behind in gold, they're behind in experience, they're behind in kills, they are ahead in towers, and towers are really the most important thing, especially at this point in the game, because when there aren't any tier 1 towers available on the outside for Exile, they can't be safe in the jungle. They can't, when they have to run away, if they want to run away from the Gold Fury back to their tower, they have to go all the way past the speed buff to get to their tower, instead of simply clipping back over to right next to the blue buff. So it's a very solid win, I would say, for them. And now we're actually going to see some setup for that next Gold Fury as it is about to respawn. Going to see a lot of damage got on Onlyshare going to be forced up into his ultimate. What? Decent amount of damage, but again, not a whole lot of... Oh, beautiful cataclysm there, but now we're going to see Ares going up into his ultimate as well, going to pull both of them. Shadow Tread is going to miss the damage with that. Now Onlyshare getting taken very low, but Lord Kit is going to be going even lower. Shadow Tread is going to kill Kayana, and now we're going to see the knockback coming out from Geb. Geb is going to go down to Turquoise. Beautiful ultimate there, beautiful ultimate coming out from Shock as well, going to silence them. Jacob's going to get that kill. Creature, however, is going to kill Axenthor, and he's going... Banana's actually going to get the last bit of damage there onto Gum, and... Now we are going to see Rom trying to get something. There we go. Turquoise is going to kill Banana. And now Creature is in a little bit of trouble as he is in a 2-on-1. But instead we are going to simply see Turquoise soloing this Gold Fury while Jakos goes to lane and pushes a little bit under tower. But he does see Baka there, so instead of going for the tower, he does come over to help out his Hunter with this Gold Fury clear, which they are doing a reasonable amount of damage.
They should be able to secure this unless Creature sniffs this one out, and I think he has sniffed it out as well. Gonna come and try to find it, but Jakos will do his best to zone him away. Creature does have his jump available, and there is no Hog 3 available for Exile right now. He could maybe try to steal this away, but Jake doing a great job of zoning right now, and actually be able to just keep him away from this fight, actually. So that's going to be a big win there coming for Exile right now.
Yeah, Turquoise didn't quite have the damage online to be able to actually lifesteal up off of the Gold Fury, so he's at about half health now after tanking the entire thing. But really, that's fine. He can go to lane and now heal up just fine off of the minions there. So Jakos is going to go to lane, actually rotate around the other side. I did just hear a Thor ultimate, or am I losing my mind?
I think you're losing your mind, as Thor has not ulted, but at the same time, I think we've all lost our mind at some point, as Turquoise is actually in rid of danger from the Creature. Now we hear the Thor ultimate going from the sky, and there is a fight brewing as well. Here comes the Thor blinking, and Zenthor gonna find what he wants. Thor gonna miss everybody with that shot right there, but Zenthor maybe gonna find what he needs. Chains going down on the two people right there, and now Zepora coming down. Gonna trap Onlyshare in a bit of an awkward spot, but it looks like they're looking for the disengage right now, and that they're gonna do.
Indeed. So I like the rotations as far as from the solo laners trying to make these more teamfight oriented, and we're actually going to see both sets of mid camps going the way of Exile. But I really would like to see Crest Gums go back over to solo lane, because there's been a lot of farm that he just hasn't been taking advantage of. You know, we're going to actually see Creature go back over to lane and push it back out from under his tower.
Probably especially with the teleport available.
Exactly.
He can make so much pressure right now.
So we're actually going to see Thor sort of peaking at the same time that we are going to see the mid laner support and jungler from Dishonored Gods, who are trying to check and see if that mid camp is up. It is not. Not really sure, Banana, if he's safe here. He's dropping wards all over the place. I love the vision control from both of these teams. Maybe a little bit more, because a lot of these are sort of very standard locations. You want to try and spread out your vision just a little bit more, with this overlap and more just general knowledge of where things are. But really, I have to applaud just the standard, very solid ward coming out from both teams.
A solid warding across the map, so it's going to be interesting to see how these teams handle their wards. They've been rotating quite well off the back, and we're going to see Zenthor maybe getting caught here as they're going to go for Red Duncan. Duncan going to walk away from this, and Banana not feeling confident enough in this as well either, because the speed of rotation coming out of Exile Gaming would be really tough to deal with, as Giannis does have his ultimate online, and kind of hard to out-rotate a team with the Giannis ultimate.
Definitely. I think right now that what we're seeing from Exile is them simply trying to split up Dishonored Gods in a way where they can force whichever side has sort of less players on it is going to be the tower that they take, because both the mid and the soul or dual lane towers are
actually they're trying to catch a Creature out in a bad spot. Crestcom's gonna try to find something to get stunned out immediately. Fog is going to spook a couple people out, and Apollo's going to come crashing down any second now, looking for a good fire. They're going to come down to Crestcombs. Crestcombs in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be just fine as he's a tanky chuck. Great over command of Hunbats right there. Fear no evil right into the wall. Accidental taking so much damage. He's going to pop the ultimate. Going to pull in 2 people right there. Actually, they all pop the beats. The 2 CM unity. Down they go. Great over from Nuwa as well. Trapdoor will come landing right over her, but she is already back down. But a great across face in time, right to the face. Almost completely shotguns her down. Now they're going 2 for 1 right now, trying to find something else in the back. That portal comes through, looking for Banana, but Banana's already too far gone, and he is completely split out of here.
Yeah,
at the same time, great Cataclysm in the mid lane, gonna try to keep himself alive. Duncan might fall here, but they can't find the crowd control they need, and he is gonna be out of here. Rom tries to find the shot, but now he's a little too far extended. But Dishonored Gods are a little too low to respond to that.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where everybody who's alive is just a little bit too low to try and continue the fight, and you know, there was a moment there where Giannis went over to the duo lane trying to chase down Creature, and Creature was very low, but Creature did a beautiful job of juking out Jake Haas, and Jake just said, forget it, I don't want to risk throwing my life away, I'm just going to walk away, go back to the base, and then come back up to lane and be fine. So, you know, I gotta respect the decision of knowing when to stop fighting, and Giannis did it perfectly. So, or both teams did it perfectly for that matter. Exile said, okay, we lost some people, bad trade for us overall, you know, the experience difference did hurt them a little bit, but instead they went and they farmed up, and they're pulling the experience back sort of more into
something we gotta compliment. Dishonored Gods are incredible at team fighting, especially if they keep getting the fights they need, like right in these tight alleys. These tight little lanes in the jungle. That's what they've been finding their best fights, especially with these Hunbats ultimates coming down. And if they can keep finding fights like this, they could pull this game back for a win.
Oh, definitely could, and we're gonna see a bit of pressure being applied here, and a lot of pressure being applied here as we do see the Thor coming through. Banana is going to leap away with his leap as soon as it is available, as it was, of course, denied by the chains for a moment. We're going to actually see Hunbats over here on the solo lane. Creature is applying a lot of pressure onto this tower, forcing Chalk to come over and try and deal with it, but I don't know if Crest Gums... I'm not sure if Crest Gums has the damage to try and force Creature away, or if Creature has the damage to be able to force the tower. Good job there, though, by Crest of taking out the minions, forcing Creature away. Now we're going to see Geb rotating over as well, so this is a 3-man grouping from each team with... Banana coming over as well, so we're going to need a decent amount of damage coming here onto Only Share. But now Jake is in a little bit of trouble. He is actually the highest level person on this fight right now, meaning that really he could do quite nicely for himself. Crest is going to take a bit of damage from that leap from Banana. Tectonic Rift is going to miss. Here comes the portal as well from Jake. A lot of damage.
Going to deal a lot of damage to Share right there, but Jakos is playing so aggressively. See Thor going up into the sky, going to come crashing down right somewhere. Jakos in a lot of trouble as well. Pulled right back in the trouble is Banana, though. Banana's going to get dropped almost immediately by Traveler right there. Since I'm shards taking out, forcing Jakos away. Jakos channeling his ultimate. Going to hit 3 people right there. Actually, only 1 person right there. Now it's a rampage for Creature right there. Creature going completely crazy right now. Looking for Crest Gums. A great portal will keep his team safe right there. Creature should have a jump available any moment now. Going to try to jump on the Crest Gums, but not going to find it. Finds a shotgun, actually. Might find Jakos. Jakos doing his best to kite around, but he will survive for now. And no shockwave available. And that is a great fight for Dishonored Gods right there.
Huge fight for Dishonored Gods. Numbers don't really show it just yet, which is
and now they can actually go for the gold tree, so the numbers will start showing it for their favor pretty soon.
Numbers definitely should, as they are shredding this gold tree right now, dropping it below 70% very rapidly. Some of their stims will drop off, but a Shadow Tread will be here to both tank it and also do plenty of damage to it, and that is a Gold Fury in their favor. Rom actually going up into the air, just missed that, getting Creature so incredibly low, but couldn't quite finish him off. That's unfortunate for him. And that's a big win for Dishonored Gods, forcing out, or pseudo-forcing out, the ultimate from...
I mean, it put a lot of pressure on, but it was at a point where you can't really do much with that pressure. They've already got the objective. There are no real tower... Well, you can push this left side tower, and you might actually be able to put a lot of damage onto it, but they're going to rotate back fast enough, and he's going to be in enough danger to not really be able to secure this one away, unfortunately, but... Actually, he might... He's doing a lot of damage to this tower, but he might end up giving his life for it. Banana has found him. Going to drop a ward. Going to go for a turquoise. Will leap away, but right into a Hunbats one. Forces the beat down almost immediately. Going to try to duel back them. Gets the slowdown. And now, Banana's going to back off as Zenthor is lurking around. Jakos is looking for some damage as well. Going to try to find the shotgun, but the great collapse here coming out of the rest of Dishonored Gods. Now Banana's got to run for his life with the dot. Should tick. No, it won't finish him off right there. Now they're trapped in the middle of this camp. Red Duncan looking for a Cataclysm, but not going to find it. Portal going to come away as well, and they're going to make their way out of here with a great disengage.
A very solid disengage, really from both teams, as Exile realized that they couldn't fight anymore, and Dishonored Gods knowing when to pull out which players needed to get out of there at which time, if you will. So briefly, anything itemization-wise that you find intriguing?
It looks solid across the board, although there are some few things I think you're going to want to talk about here.
I mean, I like... You know me so well.
I
like
the double stack.
The double stack on Giannis, I like. It's going to be a lot of power. I do like the Obsidian Shard Rush coming out here from Nuwa, as far as it'll give her pen, but it won't necessarily give her a whole lot of power. It's a reasonable amount, but then plus 33% pen is the big thing. The Soul Reliquary probably going into a late Book of Thoth, which I don't hate, because Book of Thoth is all about the passive, not about the actual stacks. The stacks on Book of Thoth only...
Could be seeing a Soul Reaver.
Well, I was going to get to that in a second. They 22 magical power for all the stacks. Soul Reaver, I'm not a huge fan of, though, because if she ults, it's going to chunk Geb, and then you're going to be good, unless she's really solid about taking note of when her Soul Reaver proc comes online, and then she applies it to a specific character player on the enemy team. But really, Soul Reaver is a little bit too unwieldy, I feel like, on a new Wa. Unless you use it at the beginning of the team fight to try and get, excuse me, not Geb, Ares or Chalk, to try and get them low. But I just don't know if that's really a great idea.
Over on the left lane, though. Dual laner now. Shadow in a lot of trouble. Gonna get the chains on her right now. There's the bait for the cooldown reduction. Aegis comes up, but it's mostly a polar shot. Actually, might save his life here. Rom goes in the sky. Gonna try to find a snipe. Yes, he does. Turquoise gets the kill right there. The crossface in time comes out. Just secure the kill if it was needed. Now Giannis is in a bit of trouble. Gonna ride his own portal across back to land, and he should be safe and sound. His Dishonored gods are a little late to the party, but they're at this party nonetheless.
Indeed they are, and it looks like this should just be a disengagement for the most part. Though Dishonored Gods wants to make sure that they maintain power in the mid lane, and Creature is doing his best to try and stop this steal of this blue buff, which apparently Zinthor and Turquoise really want. But they have no problem resetting it time and again. I guess at the very least it's going to continue to apply pressure to Dishonored Gods as they are not clearing the wave and they aren't actually taking anything out of it. We're going to see Homebots coming in here, ultimate doing nothing against Zinthor. Beats are going to come out as well, going to stop the pull from that ultimate. Now a lot of damage coming out onto Zinthor, but he is doing okay for him. Now Banana going incredibly well. Banana getting chunked there by Crestgums. Crestgums going to get that kill. Now bottom side of this engagement, you're seeing Creature actually taking a lot of damage. Well, Thor going to be coming down out of the sky. Going to see the Geb shield coming out. The regular shield coming out. Shell going to see nice teleport from Thor. Tribal Kalyana is going to take out Creature, and now Red Duncan is actually being beautifully blocked. Here comes the Curse as well. Only Share popping his beads now, going up into the ultimate as well. Nuwa should be getting at least one, takes out Kalyana right there. Apollo coming back in to this engagement, going on to Jacob's bottom side of the fight. Only Share does go down, and this should be a disengage as Duncan and Shadow Shard are far enough away that they can get Duncan into safety and back, and the members on Exile, especially Giannis, are low enough that it's not really worth trying to chase. It's a very solid fight, pulled massively in their favor.
3 for 1 there, I believe, and now they're going to clear out this wave and start pushing quite a few of them down, but a little too low to really make that much pressure across the map, unfortunately. As the mid camps have respawned, so they'll get a little bit of something here.
A little bit of something is always better than nothing, at least, and really, at this point, it's more about reestablishing pressure in all of these lanes. You want to, okay, what do we have? What buffs do we have that we can get applied to? And where can we apply the pressure? You know, we're seeing Crestgums going, okay, I see that I have my blue buff. Ares, go to that. I'm going to go try and check a little bit higher up. And that allows him to... and then they see, okay, we've got some... where do we need wards as well? So this should work out well for them. And also, we're actually going to see Rom getting fairly deep here as Turquoise is just going to kind of hang out right here at this tower. And he's going to go straight for the tower, not even worry about the minions just yet. Taking out that tower. It's going to be the first tier 2 tower of the game at 2650 in the game. And now it looks like we might be seeing some pressure on this solo lane, though we do see Crestgums backing off. So I would expect this to be, guys, just we'll take this fight next time. But you never really do know, as we aren't in their comms.
Turquoise is actually sitting a little bit in the danger zone. They're going to steal away that red buff, actually. Gold Fury has respawned, so I expect to see teams start drifting towards that, actually. Although we could be seeing, like the solo lane, as Fire Giant is on the table now for both of the teams, actually.
Turquoise doing a great job of sitting right at the very edge, resetting it as soon as Duncan shows up. And this is a great bait here. Rom does have his ultimate available, as well as all of his cooldowns, meaning that he can just tumble away if he needs to, or ult, apply a bunch of damage, and then tumble away. Either way, he's fairly safe for trying to start something like this, but it also does force everybody over to this portion of the map. And if Exile Gaming thinks they can win this fight, then it's all the better for them. Unfortunately, their Hog 3 did just go back to base, but... actually, it's not. He did not. I mean, one of them did, as they do have 2 members with Hog 3 online right now.
And they can still continue to bait this fight out, but there are a lot of wards down on their side, so they're going to get spotted out, unfortunately. But kind of back off and just go for their buffs right now and try to bait it out again as soon as everybody is here.
Yeah, what I would really like to see here is actually Chalk going over to solo lane, pushing as hard as he can, and then as soon as this fight engages, teleporting to the back ward. This one up on Geb right now.
I'm a little disappointed that Chalk hasn't been taking advantage of his teleport as much as he could have been.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, sometimes you're too busy thinking about, okay, what do I need to take care of in this immediate fight? Not because we can see that everybody from Dishonored is here.
Either that you would buy, so
exactly.
It's not usually on the top of your mind that, okay, I can do all this stuff with teleport. I can be split pushing, and I can show. Now they're gonna try to bait this fight out again. As Turquoise is gonna start up the Gold Fury. They are all grouped around us. They can find a good fight here. Paul gonna go across the skies. Gonna come crashing down to a huge players right there. Gonna knock them all up right there. Rifle from Moonbot. Only gonna lock down about 2 people right there. Here comes Ares dropping the chains, trying to peel away, but Moonbot is nowhere near, and Banana's going completely crazy. His creature is going to have to leap away from this fight. Here goes Nuwa into the sky, going to drop down Traplord. Traplord is dead now. Now there's a shot from Turquoise. Turquoise will finish off creature and drive a lot of damage on the only share. One more shot to do it. Yes, it does. Shadow Shred gets a great mez right there, but he might fall down here. Gets rooted out and crippled as well. Going to get crippled by the Ares change as well. Now Red Duncan is the focus of attention, getting completely beaten on by Chalk and Turquoise right now. I think he's going to be going anywhere, unfortunately, as he doesn't have the rollout available just yet. The shield will keep him alive for just a few minutes longer, but I don't know if it'll be long enough, as he does fall right there to Turquoise. At the same time, Giannis has been pushing off to the right.
Yeah, that's a 4 for 1 and the Gold Fury, but I would not be surprised to see a Fire Giant here, as the Hog 3 on Dishonored Gods is now down for the next 30 seconds. One bots is really their only hope, and Banana is out of mana, so he is going to have a very hard time trying to contest this, as he also only has a Rage and a Jotuns online, as well as Pen Boots, but again, it's not like he has a whole lot of damage available. His Fist is down for 36 seconds, so he can't even try and apply a stun or anything like that. His ultimate
with how
actually
fast
is back up.
Fire Giant's going down, actually. I think they're going to get this one on secured aware. He's going to look for the ultimate, actually. Going to find it, but Fire Giant's going to be found first, and he's going to be forced to run away here. Gets caught by the portal. That is going to be the end of Banana, and down he goes.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I like what he was trying to do, but he did just waited a little bit. He waited a little too long. But really, you've got to give him credit there for at least trying. Brief item notation. Let's see, what did I see? I mean, we've got the Chin Size online for Baka, followed by the Rage. Soul Reaver was the fact the item of purchase for Nuwa. Double Witchblade, that was my concern. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that Ares and Thor both have Witchblade, because they're doing team fights. They're not split pushing. If they were in different areas, fine. You've got one for this fight on the solo lane, you've got one for this fight on the duo lane, but when you're both in the middle lane, the Witchblade doesn't stack. So the stats without that aren't really amazing.
Actually, they've got a triple Witchblade.
Triple? Oh, and there's one on Chalk. Alright.
Well, Accidental is going to go for a Blink Engage right here. You're going to find a great ultimate onto one person right there, and he's going to be the person you don't want to ult in. But Duncan not able to find the ultimate. He gets silenced that again, gets a great cataclysm, but only onto one person, unfortunately. Zinthor's the ultimate cut by, and he's going to be walking away, but Nuwa will finish him off right there. Now Thor is in the sky. Here comes Jakos coming from the backside. Going to find a shotgun at the back for the double kill right there. Now Shadow Shred should fall to Kreskum. Kreskum's picks up, and it's going to be a great 4 for nothing. 4 for 1 right there, actually. The tower will fall, and I don't think the Phoenix is that far behind. This is a Fire Giant and 4 angry physical-based gods bearing down on you. Great ultimate from Banana to split them all apart, but not really enough to find any damage, and not even enough to force them off of the Phoenix, and I think they're going to lose every Phoenix right here.
Well, and the other thing is that Crest Gums is so tanky because of the way that he's built. This is the one part where, okay, I like his Witchblade because it gives him a fair amount of extra physical protection. Is he can just tank the tower? He's a second he's gone for more of that tankier Bruiser build. He's fine when it comes to tanking the Phoenix or a Baka or a Hunbox. He doesn't do as well against Nuwa, but that's okay because that's 1 out of 3.
It's understandable that itemizing so well against Buxer is he has been one of the big deciding factors in these team fights, honestly. Along with Red Duncan getting some great ultimates in these corners. Looks like Exile Gaming has realized that, okay, we can't really fight Dishonored Gods in these tight spaces, so we're going to fight them in our great spaces, in the lane. Wherever we can find them or catch them out of place, we're going to fight them, and that's what they needed to have been doing.
Indeed. So, at this point, we're going to see them back off, spend some of that money. I mean, if we look at Golden Hand really quickly, if I can catch them before they spend it, 3,000 in Chalk now. I just spent 1,300 of it. But there was a lot of Golden Hand for a lot of the players right as they were going back. So, Exile Gaming, buying a lot of items. I'm not a huge fan of a Hide of the Urchin this late because it's going to be hard to get the stacks on it. Although one team fight could get 3 to 4 or 5. But baseline, 250 health, 250 mana, plus 45 physical and magical is solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. All 3 Phoenixes are down, which means that they have fire minions pushing up every wave, which means that they can effectively own the map. They're buying plenty of wards. Exile Gaming is relatively set.
I honestly have been liking Exile's map play this entire time. They've been reacting. They've been handling they've been putting down wards, and they've been playing off of them. They're not just kind of putting them down like, oh, hey, we put wards down. They are saying, okay, we have wards down, we have vision, we're going to make use of this vision. And that's what you need to do when you have these wards down. You gotta see them pushing down the midway lane to try to find this last fight of the game, as they can fight pretty well in the lane.
Indeed they can. And really, at this point, the grouping, team fight as far as
here comes the
composition goes
flank.
is
We're
going to
gonna find
matter.
the ultimate going on to two people right there. Probably gonna pull in Duncan. Duncan's gonna look for the Cataclysm. Looks like it's a great ultimate coming out of Wimbot. Only finds two with the Cataclysm. Doesn't last that long due to the mission returns, unfortunately. Trying to find the shots. Turquoise will pick up a kill right there. Nuwa went into the air and tried to find a bit of damage. Now, Creature will fall into the portal and fall to his death to Turquoise right there. Gonna be going towards the Titan right now. Zergic's gonna run for their life into their base. Thor comes dunking down right on top of the Titan. They're just gonna shred this thing completely. Almost goes down their half health already. Press comes already trying to keep this one out. Gets a great silence on the Only Share. Only Share will fall, and so will the Titan. Good game to Exile Gaming at 33 minutes in.
Very good game indeed. Exile just snowballed, and they did a very good job of sort of walking the line, catching what they needed to as far as that break of, okay, little win, big win, bigger win, massive win. And then those last two team fights, they had gotten far enough ahead, even if it was just in items by the end, that they completely dominated the ending engagements and did win the game out.
They realized where and when they couldn't fight.
Definitely.
And they actually reacted to it. And they also started to itemize against the gods that were causing them a lot of trouble. Okay, Bakasura is doing a lot of damage. That Cataclysm in these tight corners are catching a lot of us out. Same with Hun Bot. So we get Magi's, we get beads, we get all kinds of CC reduction, and we get Witchblades to just completely shut out Bakasura no matter where he goes in a fight.
Very true indeed. Also, something that now that they've put it into the game, I love looking at is wards placed. Every member on Exile Gaming placed at least 8 wards. Dishonored, not quite as much. We saw 4, 4, 16, and 13. So it's very solid on everybody. Shadow Shred, please start buying wards. Your team will appreciate it.
They were reacting to those wards as well.
But that's the big thing. Is just buying wards doesn't mean as much as actually using them. And that was really what allowed Exile to take it. And so GG's. Pleasure seeing them, pleasure casting them, and we will be back in just a few minutes with our next round, everybody. Round 3 to be in fact. So stay tuned, everyone. My name is M Target. My co-caster is Soza. This is First Blood, brought to you by Tier Monster and hi-rez Studios.